What if I told you that the life you dream of might already be happening, but you're too distracted to notice? I know that sounds strange, but stay with me. I used to think the key to feeling alive, to really feeling like I was going somewhere in life, was to always have a plan, a step-by-step guide, a clear path. It felt like the only way to make progress was to work tirelessly, chase some distant version of success, and sacrifice the present for the future. So that's what I did. I woke up early, went through the motions, hit every goal on paper. But something wasn't right. I still felt like I was running in place. I looked around at people, friends, strangers, people on social media, and everyone seemed to have it all figured out. Everyone but me. It was a strange feeling, like being in a crowded room, but still feeling completely alone. It was like the life I had was empty. I remember this one night, a night that sticks with me still. I had just finished a long day at work. I walked into my tiny apartment, tossed my keys on the counter, and collapsed onto the couch. I stared at the wall, not thinking about anything really, just staring. The clock ticked away, but I wasn't moving forward. I was stuck. I sat there for hours. No music, no phone, no distractions, just quiet. In that silence, it hit me. What was I doing? It felt like I was wasting my own time, like I was putting my life on pause, waiting for the right moment to take off. But it wasn't coming. It was never going to come if I kept waiting for perfection, for some grand opportunity that would suddenly make everything click. That night, I had to admit something to myself. I had been chasing this illusion that life was supposed to feel effortless, that everything would just fall into place. And that's where I was wrong. It wasn't the big things that were holding me back. It wasn't some grand failure. It was the small stuff, the habits, the choices, the day-to-day actions that built up over time. It wasn't the lack of a grand achievement, but the constant neglect of the small victories that had kept me stuck. I had fallen into the trap of looking for something that wasn't real. I had expected that happiness would come in a clear, linear progression, but it didn't. It's never that simple. The truth is, I had been so focused on getting ahead, I missed all the moments where I was already moving forward. I had been so fixated on some future success that I completely ignored the fact that I had already come so far. There was one morning, a few weeks after that night, that really changed my perspective. It wasn't anything big. I was just getting ready to leave the house when I looked in the mirror. I saw someone tired, but also someone who had been working hard, making it through each day, even when things felt impossible. I looked at my reflection, and for the first time, I felt proud. Not for some huge achievement, but for the simple fact that I was still going. That realization shifted something inside me. I stopped looking for some giant leap. I started to notice the small steps I had been taking all along, and I learned something profound in that shift. Progress isn't always big. It's quiet, it's slow, it's steady. I started making little changes. I woke up with intention, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I began practicing patience with myself. Instead of feeling like a failure for not achieving everything I set out to do, I began celebrating the small wins, the moments of stillness, the effort to show up every day, the courage to keep moving forward, even when it felt like nothing was happening. You see, life isn't a race. It's not a destination to reach. It's about who you are becoming in the process. And there's nothing more beautiful than realizing that progress isn't just about where you're going. It's about the person you're learning to be along the way. One thing I came to understand was that being stuck wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a moment of reflection. It's a signal that something inside you needs to shift. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in the middle of a transformation. That moment of stillness, that pause, was the beginning of a new chapter. I realized that I had been searching for a magic moment where everything would make sense. But the truth is, those moments come and go, like waves on the shore. What matters is learning to ride the wave, no matter how small or how uncertain it may feel. And that's what I want to share with you today. If you're feeling stuck, maybe it's not because you're failing. Maybe it's because you're not seeing the quiet progress that's happening all around you. You're already moving forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. When I stopped waiting for some big event to change my life, When I stopped looking for that one moment that would make everything perfect, I started to appreciate everything that had already happened. It wasn't about waiting for life to be different. It was about realizing that it already was, that the changes I was looking for had been happening all along, just in ways I didn't recognize. I'll be honest with you, there are days when I still feel stuck. There are days when I get overwhelmed by all the things I still want to achieve. But now, when I feel that way, I don't let it paralyze me. Instead, I remind myself that this moment, right here, right now, is part of the process. I don't need to rush to the finish line. The journey is what matters. And I want you to know something. If you're feeling stuck, you're not broken. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. The truth is, you might be closer to where you want to be than you think. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, it's time to stop waiting. Stop looking for the next big thing and start appreciating the small things, the quiet moments, the moments of growth you haven't noticed yet. The life you dream of isn't waiting for you to get it all together. It's already happening quietly in the background while you're busy thinking you're not enough. But I promise you, you are. You are enough. You always have been. And that's the biggest shift I've made. To stop chasing and start living. To stop waiting for the perfect moment and just show up every day as I am. Because that's where the magic is. It's in the messy, imperfect moments. It's in the journey, not the destination. So if you're feeling stuck, I challenge you to stop waiting. Stop asking yourself when things will change. Take a breath. Look around. Notice what's already happening. Because you might be closer to where you want to be than you think. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop running from where you are and embrace it fully. Because that's where the real transformation begins.